This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling good, brother. Can't wait to get this show on the road this weekend. Go up to Gainesville and watch the Canes and Gators finally play. It feels like we've been talking about this game forever.
Yes. Do you? Is there like a food spot you hit? You know, let's talk about the important stuff. Like, is there a good
it's not really. I'm going to be staying in St. Augustine, which is a little less than an hour away. So I'm going to be avoiding staying in I get to avoid staying in actual Gainesville. Oh, I'm not going to be staying there. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you're gonna be with the family, so you're smart. You just go out and hang out with the family in St. Augustine. I like that. That's a smart and probably a better selection of restaurants there too in St. Augustine.
Absolutely. Casa Navarro. Mom is still she's still fire on the stove there, as they like to say. So she can still cook.
Casa Navarro is even better. Yeah. Okay. Now you get home cooking. You can't beat that shit, boy. Home cooking is the best, man. So yeah. All right. I like that. It's Florida State fans right now, obviously they're disappointed with the loss, and like I said, take the points. Anyway, they're disappointed with the loss, but they could recover, right, from all of that. Even though I don't think they're going to be that good this year, I think they're going to take a couple steps back, but they can recover, right? Okay,
absolutely.
But if you're the Miami Hurricanes, there's no recovery for Mario Cristobal. You must win. It's like, yeah, sure, you can bounce back, but you cannot start the season with a loss. You cannot. If you're Mario Cristobal, you cannot start this season with a loss because it will just send a horrible message. And fans will then say, yeah, we haven't advanced. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different. Florida State lost 10 guys to the NFL draft, right? Including their starting quarterback, their 2-star receivers, their leading rusher. Like, you can go up and down the list and say they lost a lot of guys.
Plus, a lot of us, me included, are not big ukulele fans.
Right, exactly.
He just doesn't convince me, bro. He's, I'm not like the dude you had last year. That dude turned into a special player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ukulele has never turned into that special player. So it's like you're going to bounce back and you're going to go with that guy. You know what I'm saying? I have more faith in Cam Ward than I do in ukulele.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We ranked the quarterback transfers over at the Athletic last week, and we had DJ Uyunglele 15th among the quarterbacks. We had Cam Ward second behind Dylan Gabriel. So, and that's based off of intel that Bruce Feldman, Sam Conn, and myself got from talking to over 50 people in college scouting departments. So
just watch Cam's ass play. Watch Cam's ass play and watch ukulele play. And there's no difference. So for me, that's why Florida State, they don't convince me because of that. You know what I'm saying? Travis convinced the shit out of me. All that young man did was get better and better and better. Overall, I could only respect Travis, overall. But Miami, you're Mario. Nobody needs. I know the fan base needs a win. I know the players need the win. I know the program needs a win. I know the administration needs to win. But Mario's the one that really needs that win.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Florida's been so bad, right, under Billy Napier. I think if this was a different situation where Florida was a top-tier program, right, if this was going into Alabama or Georgia or one of those places, it'd be a completely different. But because Billy Napier's had his own struggles, because they ended the season on a 5-game losing skid, because they had guys leave their program, get good players leave their program via the portal, it's an entirely different scenario. So I agree. I think there's a lot of pressure on Mario. Now, would people completely abandon the bandwagon? No, because I think if Miami goes in there and loses on a last-second field goal the way Florida State did, a lot of people would turn around and say, well, Florida still has an SEC roster. It's still a tough opening first week. But if they go out there and they get blown out and they just I mean, really pooped the bed, as we like to call it, right, and just looked terrible, then yes, I think that it's an entirely different narrative. So, but I think Miami's going to win, bro. I just do. I think they're well. I think they're set up well to win this game. I think Florida's weaknesses are Miami's strengths in terms of just defensive line versus offensive line type stuff. And I think that what we're going to see on Saturday is a program that's finally ready to win.
Let's hope so, man, because the fan base needs it in a big time way, and the whole wind and the sails thing. You win this game, and then you say, okay, maybe we could start feeling good about ourselves and start feeling confident. You lose this game, it's not that you're quitting on the bandwagon, all that kind of stuff. You know, if you're a Canes fan, you're a Canes fan, no matter what. But it's one of those where, oh man, you know, slumped shoulders and depressed, and then you lack confidence moving forward. And that's to me, that's what this game is so pivotal in that sense, that it just carries a lot of momentum, positive or negative. Because if you lose, then you've got to fight all the negativity of the past and of this past week. But if you win, you have a chance of, you're not even thinking of the past and you're thinking of a new future. You know, it just changes. The dynamics completely change with a win. So tomorrow, our friend Kevin Brockway will be joining us.
Cool.
Okay. And I will ask him, what is it that Florida will need to do in order to win this game? So I will ask the same thing. What is our nightmare situation? How in the hell does Miami lose this game? What is it that Florida did that Miami failed? What is it? You tell me.
I think it's turnovers. I think it's protect the football. The same things that snake bit Miami last year, because they could run the football on a lot of people last year. They had a good offensive line. I think defensive line is supposed to be the strength of this Miami team this year. Florida's weakness is the right side of its offensive line. So to me, physically, if Miami just does the job that they're supposed to do, they should win this game. Right? It's just simple. It's a matter of, do you go out there and make mistakes? Do you do things that you shouldn't? I think the one area where Florida can beat Miami is the short passing game, their receivers breaking tackles. Miami's secondary, there's a lot of guys that are being replaced there. You had Cam Kitchens and James Williams at left. You have a couple new cornerbacks that are going to be playing. So if you want to say there's a weakness for Miami, it's the secondary, and Florida's strength is probably receiver and its passing game. But Miami owns the edge in a lot of other areas head-to-head on paper. And so there really is no excuse. And to me, I think if we're talking about a Miami loss, it's because they probably gave Florida extra possessions and didn't score points in the red zone.
All right. Running back-wise, how is Fletcher?
Supposed to play. That's what Mario said yesterday on the radio. I think he's healthy. I think he had a good camp. Got to play some towards the end of the camp in terms of scrimmages and whatnot. And I think between him and Damian Martinez and Jordan Lyle, the freshman that they got from St. Thomas Aquinas, and A.J. Allen, I really like their running back room, man. Like, they've got speed, power. They've got the full package there. And they've got an offensive line, at least a starting unit, that I got a lot of faith in. So I think there's no reason for this team not to be able to run the football against the Gators.
Oh, man, if they can run the football like consistently, that'll make Cam's transition super easy, because what you don't want to see, when you start this season, you want to, believe it or not, you want to rely heavily on the offensive line, the running game, and maybe even on Cam's legs a little bit, because that's the strength of your team. We still don't know, who's the stud at wide receiver, who's going to step up, how many of them are going to step up, tight ends, who's going to step up. So what you don't want is to get to Florida and all of a sudden you can't run the ball. And now you got to put the pressure on the passing game, which we kind of look at it as, at least right now, as the lesser of the two in the offense. But on the running side, man, I feel good about the O-line, because they were already coming around last year, should be better this year. You added the Martinez kid, and if Fletcher can come back, Fletcher's a flat-out freaking stud. And then Martinez supposedly is a stud. To me, the running game is the most important thing right now in order to to really launch that passing game, in other words.
I agree, and I think that puts a lot of pressure. If you play ball control against Florida and you're able to just run the ball down the field, have a couple, 10, 12 play drives where you're winning the battle up front, that's going to put a lot of pressure on them, and they don't have a very explosive offense. Like Graham Mertz, you go back and you look at his air yards per throw. Yes, he completed 72%, but most of those completions were underneath 9 yards. He is an underneath thrower. Like I said, the right side of their offensive line is not very good. That's been the thing they've been worried about all camp. Miami's got 2 elite defensive pass rushers in my mind, guys that have proven it here, and Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor, who supposedly has had the best camp of anybody on this defense. So I think it sets up well for Miami to come, especially with Montrell Johnson being hurt. I just think it sets up well for Miami to put pressure on the quarterback and to be disruptive of this Florida offense. Force them to have to do things maybe that they're not comfortable with, because Florida just doesn't take a whole lot of deep shots. That's just not the way Graham Mertz is. Now they've got receivers. The question is, can they get the ball to them down the field? So that's what we'll see.
All right, you got it. Somebody's asking, you know what, Ray, I wasn't planning on it, but I think I got to do it. I will do a post-game show for the Canes in Florida. So, yeah, we'll be on Saturday. We'll do it. We'll go for it. Why not? That should be a lot of fun. Miami is favored by 2.5. The over and under is 54. Money line minus 135 for Miami, Florida plus 114. I'm thinking of laying the points, bro. I think Miami can win by a field goal here.
Yeah, I think they win by double digits.
Oh, wow.
I think Miami wins by 2 scores. I think and it'll come in the fourth quarter, because it'll be a game in the fourth quarter still. But I think Miami wins this by 10 to 14 points.
Okay. All right. What do you got going on in the Athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Ton of stuff, brother. I feel like I'm constantly working now. Hope-O-Meter comes out tomorrow, where we chart the fan feelings going into the season nationally to see who's overconfident, who's depressed at this point before the season. There's a lot of other so many different stories. I mean, there's a ton of stuff to read there now as is. I just came out with a new podcast this morning, the Wide Right podcast. People can check that out, where Carlos Ledo and I break down the game. So there's a ton of content for you to digest at The Athletic.
Follow him on Twitter, Manny_Navarro, and catch his work there at The Athletic. Manny, thank you, my friend. Have a great week. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Take care.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro. Well, now I'm thinking maybe I'll bother Manny instead on Saturday, post-game. That's what I'll do. I'll do a post-game show, and we'll get Manny for the post-game instead of Friday. That's what we'll do. So we'll get Manny for a post-game. That's what we'll do. We'll have some fun. We'll bring Manny on for the Big Cheese NIL segment is what we'll do. That's what we'll do. We'll have Manny for the Big Cheese segment on Friday, and then the Canes Wear segment, we'll do it on we'll do that one post game, and we'll have some fun with that.
This is the Big O Show.